ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। We'll chant Bhaja Govindam verses 26 to 30.
कामं क्रोधं लोभं मोहं त्यक्त्वात्मानं पश्यति सोऽहम् आत्मज्ञानविहीना मूढा ते पच्यन्ते नरकनिगूढाः। गेयं गीता नाम सहस्रं देयं श्रीपतिरूपमजस्रम् नेयं सज्जनसङ्गे चित्तं देयं दीनजनाय च वित्तम् सुखतः क्रियते रामा भोगः पश्चादन्तशरीरे रोगः यद्यपि लोके मरणं शरणं तदपि न मुञ्चति पापाचरणम् अर्थमनर्थं भावय नित्यं नास्ति ततः सुकलेशः सत्यम् पुत्रादपि धनभाजां भीतिः सर्वत्रैषा विहिता रीतिः प्राणायामं प्रत्याहारं नित्यानित्यविवेकविचारम् जाप्य समेत समाधिविधानं पूर्ववदानं महदवदानम्.
The last shloka we saw in Bhaja Govindam, shloka number 25. Shatrau mitre putre bandau ma kuru yatnam vigraha sandau sarvasminnapi pashyatmanam sarvathrotsraja beda jnanam. Do not get involved in antagonizing or allying with enemy, friend, relative or son. See the self in everything everywhere. Cast away ignorance causing diversity. So, the scripture is trying to tell us that do not get involved in the world. And in the world, there are all kinds of relationships. Some are very, very close to you, friendly. They are interested in your welfare. Some are very, very antagonistic to you. They are not at all interested in your welfare. In fact, they'll be very happy if something bad happens to you. There are people who are neutral, So, there are people to whom you are very, very close. For example, son, in this example, So, for some people, relatives are closer. For some people, friends are closer. So friends can turn into enemy can become friends, you never know, right? So therefore what he's saying is, do not get involved in the world. Don't waste your time in the frivolous, passing, fleeting, trivial aspect of life. Save the energy to focus on the permanent aspects of life. What is going to help you to grow towards that Atma, divinity. Spend your energy on that. Sometimes what happens is, we spend all our energy in gossiping. Then we don't have enough energy to pursue our goal. If you just conserve that energy that you wasted in gossiping, you could easily sail through to pursue your goal. It's very important to know how to conserve and direct our energy. So, in fact, even in sports, there was in cricket, long time ago, Sri Lankan captain was Arjuna Ranatunga. Under him, Sri Lanka won a World Cup. Now, Arjuna Ranatunga was not very fit at all, physically. But he was a very good player and a good captain. So in cricket, you have to do a lot of running between wickets. That fellow was an excellent judge of, whether you can run 2 or 1 or 3. So if it is according to his judgment that you can run only 1, not 2, he will walk. He'll conserve his energy. So that when he had to really push himself to get that 2, he'll have that energy. So if you look at our life, majority of the time we are wasting it in trivials. So much concerned, bothered about this and that. Ultimately, what matters is your life. What you think, how you act, right? What are your feelings? That matters. What others feel about you doesn't matter. But are you having the feeling of gratitude? That matters. Feeling of gratitude heals you. Please understand that. That's why we say, focus on the fullness of life. Focus on everything that has been provided to you from the time you are born. If you all the time focus on what is lacking, you develop a lot of negative feelings. And the negative feelings that has been staying in you for a long time converts itself into disease in the body. We think, due to certain other reasons, external, we are getting into diseases. But we don't understand how important the feelings are. You understand? So, a sense of gratitude for everything that is being provided to you from the time you are born will keep you in a cheerful, happy, charitable mode, You won't focus on what is lacking. And it will make you see the positives of the person, rather than the negatives. So, in the mind, when you are feeling cheerful, that is what deposits the residue in your body. If the residues that is being deposited are negative consistently for a long period of time, they convert itself into disease. So, he says, do not get involved neither positively nor negatively. It's not worth it. Why? Because they come under one category. Agama payinaha anityaha. They come and go. And you remember when I was doing this shloka last week, I said that Lord Buddha's story. He gives an example to his father when his father is crying. What is this? You are, begging in our own kingdom. Come, take over the kingdom. He says, see, listen. You were traveling in a train. I boarded it in between. Now my destination has come. I am going. You go to your destination. Why you are preventing me from getting down to move in my direction? So in life, it's like that. We all come, we meet, but we all have a purpose to get back to the self. Therefore, we need to use all our resources, whether it is material, physical, emotional or intellectual, time, everything. We need to use all these resources to get back to the self and not get involved. It's not worth spending that extra amount of time antagonizing or overly friendly. Neither do this nor that. Because your vision is to move towards the higher. Therefore, he says, see the self in everything, everywhere. When your mind is agitated, you cannot see. That's what he's saying again and again in all these shlokas. Therefore, keep yourself calm. Then you will be able to think and cast away the ignorance which causes the diversity. And as long as you have that diversity in your head, in your feelings, you will not have peace of mind within. It's not possible. You will have only disturbance inside, and there can be no harmony without also. So it is to do with the diversity feeling that you are having. There is this poem, Saurabh and Rustum. Saurabh and Rustum. Very big poem by Matthew Arnold. It is there, one of the poems in the Select English Poems book by Swamiji. 3 big poems it has. All 3 talks about attachment and the devastating effects of attachment. One is the Saurabh and Rustum, which talks about the attachment between father and son, how devastating it is, how it devastates their life. And another one is between husband and wife. Husband's infatuation to wife. That is Andrea del Sarto poem. Then there is that is by Robert Browning. Another poem is by William Wordsworth. It's called Laodamia. Wife's infatuation to husband. So in this poem, Saurabh and Rustum, the attachment between father and son, how it is devastating, he talks, Matthew Arnold. Rustum was a great warrior. So he was representing, I think, a country, I think Azerbaijan or something, country. And then, whichever war he went, on one-on-one duel, he will win. So he will win a lot of battles for his country. And once when he had gone for war, his wife had delivered. And she was in constant suffering because this fellow is going on war every now and then. She doesn't know whether he will come back alive. So she was praying that she will get daughter. But she delivered a boy. So she sends message to Rustum that I delivered a baby girl. Though it's a boy. Rustum has been craving for a boy so that he can train him like a warrior. When he hears that he got a baby girl, he leaves the family, he goes somewhere else, he doesn't even come to see the child. Okay, yeah, that's what the story. Don't get involved in the story. So, Rustum goes away. And the son grows up, but it is in his blood. So, he also becomes a great warrior. Saurabh. Now, Saurabh also goes on wars, thinking that in some battle, somewhere he will meet his father. So, he is not interested in war. He is interested in meeting his father and bringing him home. And Rustum is in incognito. He doesn't want to meet the world. He is so depressed. Right? In one of the wars, when Saurabh goes, the opposite camp knows that Saurabh is a great fighter. So to deal with him, they had to put up a strong candidate to fight against him. Strong warrior. So they somehow convince Rustum. They find him out, they convince Rustum, and they bring Rustum to fight against his own son. They don't know. So Rustum says, okay, I will come, but I will only come in disguise. You should not tell that I am Rustum to anybody. They say, okay. So he comes back. Now Saurabh and Rustum meet each other. Something tells Saurabh, it looks like my father. Okay, this could be my father. So he asks, hey, are you Rustum? Saurabh is asking. Rustum says, hey, you think you are such a great fighter that you will fight only with Rustum? You face me, man. And then he starts striking him with his weapon. And Saurabh just slightly moves, So with so much of force, when Rustum tried to strike Saurabh, and Saurabh escapes, Rustum goes and falls on the ground. It irritates him even more. So when he gets up to cheer him up, he says, come on, Rustum. He says that. And Rustum is stunned. Saurabh is stunned because he's now found his father. And he's just standing still, and Rustum kills him. Pokes his dagger inside, sword inside Saurabh's body. And then Rustum is laughing. You thought you were such a great warrior, you will only fight against Rustum. And then see here, you are lying down. Like that the poetry goes. Saurabh says, hey, you didn't kill me, man. That name Rustum killed me. What? What do you mean? That name Rustum killed me. Yeah. And you are finished now, he says. Why? Because when my father Rustum comes to know that I was killed, you will be finished, he says. What do you mean? Your father is Rustum. Rustum never had a son. He says, Rustum says that. Then Saurabh says, hey, who are you to tell that my father never had a son? I am his son. See this tattoo mark. To prove that I am his son. Then Rustum understood, my God, man, I have killed my own son. Swami Ramtirtha says, the way to gain anything is to lose it. If you are attached, you lose it. Attach, you lose. Detach, you gain. So Saurabh and Rustum were attached to each other, they lost each other. And then he cries and then he also dies. Okay. So, what I want to tell is, he was hating Saurabh so much. How much he hated? When he didn't know that it is his son. Then when he came to know that it is his son, he is his son, then again it became love or attachment. You understand? So, these are constantly changing phenomenon. What you call as enemy from a different angle when you look at it may become friends. That's what they say in politics very often, no? He is enemy to both of us, so we will get together and we will finish them. Not that this fellow is too friendly to me, but we'll get together. They say in politics, no, there's no permanent enemy, no permanent friends and all that. It's not just in politics, anywhere. All these are constantly changing phenomenon. Right? Don't be in ignorance. And then getting lost in all these things. He says, cast away ignorance causing diversity. This diversity is because you're looking at it from the angle of the mind. Once you start looking at it from the angle of the self, where is the diversity? Where is the variety? Where is the difference? Where is the difference? Difference is only in gunas, not in the Purusha. It's the Prakriti that modifies into variety. Purusha remains the same, just enlivening. In the 13th chapter of the Gita, where he talks about Kshetra Kshetrajna Vibhaga Yoga chapter, Arjuna is asking, what is Kshetra? What is Kshetrajna? What is Jnanam? What is Jneyam? What is knowledge and what is to be known? And then what is Purusha? What is Prakriti? So, Krishna deals with Kshetra, Kshetrajna first, and then he talks about knowledge, what is to be known. Then he comes to Purusha and Prakriti. Then he says, in the cause and effect relationship of this world, the modifications that happens in this world, Prakriti is the cause. In the sense, Prakriti only modifies. The gunas it has, it modifies. Whereas when it comes to the experience, Purusha is the cause, he says. What he's trying to say is, where is the experience happening of anything that you experience, whether good or bad, pleasant, unpleasant, joy, sorrow, where are you experiencing it? In the mind. And mind per se is what? Made up of 5 elements only, subtle elements. So it is insentient. What is making it sentient to perceive that happiness or sorrow? Purusha. So in that sense, he says that is the cause. So therefore, in the world, what accounts for the diversity? Prakriti. But from the Purusha angle, it is the same Purusha that is helping you to experience the happiness and sadness, joy, sorrow, everything in you, in me and everybody. So that Purusha, from that angle, all of us are one. The more and more we read the scripture, saving the energy that is getting wasted in the non-essentials, the more and more we move towards the common denominator. When we move towards that, there will be love in us. There won't be any hatred. And the more love you have, the more peaceful you will be. Immediate effect is peace. You will be peaceful. And when you're peaceful, you can be more productive, you will achieve success, you'll be able to relate with others better. The most important thing is to keep yourself peaceful. Swami Ramtirtha says, why you fellows get agitated, man? Why you have motive? Your only obligation in life is to be self-poised, self-pleased. So as a sadhak, we should tell ourselves, at any situation, I will not allow myself to be disturbed. It's not worth disturbing your peace and then going through this. You want to trade peace for this? How worthy it is? How worthy it is? It's not worthy. So therefore he says, don't get involved. Neither in good nor in bad. No enemy, no friend, no nothing. Externally, yes. You should understand this fellow is having these qualities. This fellow is having these qualities. So I can relate with him more. But don't get involved. Unnecessarily. Involvement, see what happens is mind tends to get involved very easily. A lot of people suffer. You get involved in somebody else's bad situation, which was created foolishly by them. Some people live so foolishly without managing their finances properly and kept on borrowing or whatever, and then suddenly they'll come and emotionally appeal to you to help them out more than your capacity. If you are not properly thinking, you also go beyond your capacity. Shakespeare says, neither a borrower nor a lender be. Don't be a borrower, don't be a lender. So, how I understand that is just be a giver. So, with certain capacity, this much you can give, let's say. Foolishly that fellow did, but in some way or the other, I think I should help that fellow. But he may be asking for how much ever he want. But you are not responsible for his samsar, no? How will you become responsible for his samsar? So you give how much ever you can give, even if it doesn't come, it doesn't affect you. It come back in return. You understand? Otherwise, what happens? You get involved. Then their problems start becoming your problem. Already you are having problem. That also starts becoming your problem. So when you begin to understand how the karma works, the Atma, Brahman, Gunas and everything, then you will be objective, not get involved. That's what he's talking about. 26.
Kamam krodham lobham moham tyaktvatmanam pashyati soham Atmajnana vihina mudha te pachyante narakani gudha.
Kama, Krodha, Lobham, Moham, he says. But you can add more. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, Bhaya. All these are various modifications of desires, attachment, thought flow. He says, Kamam, Krodham, Lobham, Moham, Tyaktvat. Tyaktva. Tyaktva means having renounced. Having renounced what? Kama, desire. Krodha, anger. Lobha, greed. Moha, delusion. So, having gone beyond, having transcended, having renounced desire, anger, greed, delusion, all the modifications, one sees the self as he am I. He says, Tyaktva Atmanam Pashyati Soham. Soham means what? Saha Aham. Saha Aham is Soham. Hamsa is what? Aham Saha. I am he. That is Hamsa. Soham is Saha Aham. He am I. Who? Consciousness. The pure consciousness. When will you see that? When you keep your mind calm and composed. When you handle your desires, anger, jealousy, greed, fear, delusion, everything. Till then it's not possible. Unless and until the mind is quiet, how will you see the self within? So therefore the first thing is to keep yourself calm. You know that song is there, no? English song. When I listen to that song, I get more agitated.
Calm down.
Calm down, calm down, calm. It's a nice song. Youngsters like it. It's not like I don't like it. I also like it. But it's very funny. First time when I heard it, because my son was listening, calm down, calm down. It's hardly calming down, he said.
If you see the singer, you'll get angry.
So, anyway, so the thing is, you have to calm down. Keep your mind under control. If you cannot keep your mind calm, you will neither get the world nor the beyond. That's why we say spirituality is not for the weak people. Spirituality is not for weak people. Spirituality is for people who are strong. That's why discipline is very important. If you cannot control our mind, how will you control anything outside? Swamiji says, if you cannot keep your table or room clean, how will you organize your mind? Shaucham is one of the qualities spoken very often in Vedanta. Purity, cleanliness. Cleanliness hardly you see in many of the temples when we go. At least in temples it should be clean. No? Ganges, when we have this belief, that you dip in Ganges, you remove the sin. Many years ago, we had gone as a group for a retreat in Kashi, Varanasi. So one gentleman is a Tamil Brahmin, a younger Brahmin is, but he had never gone to Varanasi. He used to attend my classes here in Delhi. So he said, sir, I want to go to Varanasi. I am interested in your classes also, but I also want to go to Ganges and take a dip. So he said, will you take us for a, this thing, or only lecture you will give and we have to attend only lectures and we come for a retreat? I said, no, I also need, some time off from all of you guys. So we will be definitely going to Ganges. We'll have a boat ride and all that. So if you want to take a dip, you can take a dip. He came very prepared for it, with shorts and everything. But he never took a dip. He said, sir, I can't take dip in this. It's so dirty. There are so many people taking a dip, but he couldn't. And I don't think so he took a dip. So, we are calling it as a river which cleanses our sins. But we do not keep it clean. How much the government can do? Government can do whatever they can do. But you have to do your bit, na? So much of industrial pollution is sent to that. All kinds of things we do. We call it as, Mother Ganges. Right? So, it is very important to cleanse the inner dirt. The inner dirts are this. Kamam, Krodam, Lobam, Moham, Mada, Matsarya, Bhaya. Mada means arrogance. Matsarya, jealousy. Bhaya, fear. All this, how does it come? When your thoughts move from you to the world outside, right? Due to the imaginary void that you are feeling within, which comes due to ignorance of your true self. Vedanta says, your real self is paripurna, complete. But you do not know that. Out of the ignorance of your true self, you feel incomplete, a lack. And to fill that lack, which is imaginary, your thoughts run towards the world. When the thoughts run towards the world, in the beginning, it's called attachment. Then when it continues flowing, it becomes thicker. Then it's called desire. Then it becomes desire. Then anybody comes in between you and the object of your desire, you get angry with that fellow. So what is anger? Anger is nothing but desire interrupted. What is anger? Anger is desire interrupted. You said no, when you went for hiking, unfulfilled desires.
Don't go your way. So.
Yeah. She said she went for hiking And obviously they chose the season which is not rainy and all that. But because of global warming, anything happens anywhere. So she said when she went for hiking with a group of people, suddenly it started raining in the place which was not supposed to rain that time. So they had to run and all that. And she said, no, I can't run on the trail. I was having backpack, luggage and all that. So I said, I can't run, And I was getting angry with myself. Because she said, who else can I get angry with? I can only get angry with myself. I was getting angry with myself. So I said, why you are getting angry with yourself? If you analyze, there is some desire somewhere unfulfilled. Why it's raining? It's not supposed to rain. It's raining now. Right? I have a desire, an expectation that my husband, my wife, my children should be wishing me on my birthday. Or at least the first ones to wish me on my birthday. And when that doesn't happen, I get angry. So there is some expectation, some desire getting interrupted. So is it wrong to expect? No. It's not wrong to expect. Especially when you grow to a very high level, you will not have these expectations. But when you are at a certain level in the world, it's okay. You are having the expectation from your father, mother, children, husband, wife to, remember your birthday and wish you. That is not wrong. Expectation is not wrong. But to expect the expectations to be fulfilled all the time, that is wrong. Because if you analyze the world, the only thing that is certain is uncertainty. Nothing else is certain. Only the uncertainty is certain. From the worldly angle. So when that being the case, if you have a desire and it's interrupted, you get angry. So therefore we say anger is nothing but desire interrupted. A boy loves a girl and the father says, no, you can't marry her. So his thoughts have been going from him to his girlfriend, whom he wants to marry. Now his father has come in between and interrupting the thought current. So now the thought current gets deflected from him to the girl it was going. Now it gets deflected, it goes to that father. How dare you talk to me like that? Father? Do you understand? He'll get angry with his father. You are not my dad. You go to hell. All sorts of things happen. Why? Desire interrupted. Right? And when you get angry, what happens? You get completely deluded. You don't know what you are talking, whom you are talking to, what you are saying. You will tell your boss, you keep that job, man. You need that job, you keep it, you will say. You will tell the boss. Boss is saying, it's okay. You give your resignation tomorrow. Hey, I don't need your job, you keep it. You say all that and then you leave. After 2 days, you suddenly remember, that bill I have to pay. That loan I have to pay back. I need this job. But now you've given the resignation, the boss has sent it to the head office and they have accepted it, now you're gone. So that is delusion. When you are in deluded state, you forget the reality. You forget what is happening here. You're not at all aware. You lose your memory, you lose your knowledge, everything. You behave like one mad fellow. Anger is a madness. It destroys you. When you are caught up with anger, it gives you kick. That's why you say, I gave him nicely. I creamed him off. I finished him. You get such a kick when you say that. But actually anger kicks you. Then you realize, my God, I lost my job, man. So, what you need to understand, there are celebrities who lose so much of their following, their income because of certain behavior. I don't remember which year finals it was. France and Italy, I think, the finals. Was it France and Italy? I'm forgetting. Getting old. France versus Italy. World Cup soccer finals. And Zidane was playing for France. Super player. You understand? He's playing brilliantly. And suddenly he picked up a fight with another opposite player and he hit him with his head. And the referee gave him red card. He went back. France played with 10 players. Italy won the World Cup. Italy or Germany? I think Italy only. They won the World Cup. He paid heavily for it. At that time, the rage is so much. You are so deluded. You don't understand what you are doing. You are losing, On the contrary, the last World Cup soccer, I was in Chandigarh that time. Gone to Chandigarh for work, classes. And then somebody was meeting us. We forgot that the World Cup soccer was that time, so we gave the time. So he came and met us. World Cup soccer started. Then after the meeting, we were going with him for dinner in Chandigarh. So, once the meeting was over, I saw the phone, WhatsApp messages. My son had messaged, he was supporting Argentina. It was Argentina versus France only, right? Messi had scored 2 goals. Argentina was leading. So he said Argentina 2-0. So I called him up. I said, hey, it looks like you're winning, So then he said, yeah, we never know. Let's see, wait, like that. He was playing very calm like a Vedantin, But inside he wants that only. Right? And we went to the restaurant and we sat down there. There was a television there, So we could watch the match. The captain of France played so brilliantly, that guy, Mbappe, his name. He scored 2 goals and it became 2-2. Then it went to, penalty shootout to decide who is the winner. There also Mbappe took the first shot and he scored. Messi took the first shot and scored for Argentina. But then finally Argentina won in penalty shootout. What I am trying to say is, see, this captain was so calm. Even at that stage where they were 2-0 losing, very calm. But how he could manage himself and score 2 goals and inspire his team, and they almost lost. And when they were all, when they lost, Mbappe was lying on the ground, He was sad a little bit. I think it was French president who was watching the match in the ground. He came down, cheered him up. He said, you could have lost the match, but you won the hearts of people. It's managing your mind in the most crucial moments that matters. What happened to Arjuna? Crucial moment that fellow lost his mind. That's why Sri Krishna says, Kutastva kashmalamidam vishame samupastitam anarya jushtam ashwargyam akirti karam Arjuna. You've come to the battlefield. You could have said, no, I'm not coming. You came to the battlefield. Crucial moment, the bugles are blown. War is declared. 12th verse of chapter 1. Bhishmacharya has blown the conch. Means what? War is declared. And Sri Krishna blows his conch saying, okay, we accept the challenge. And Arjuna also blows his conch. All done. And suddenly he says, please take the chariot and place it in between both the armies. I would like to see who all have come to fight. SWOT analysis. He wants to do. Strength, weakness and all that. So he goes there and then he sees Bhishma, and Sri Krishna purposely takes him, places the chariot right in front of Bhishma and Drona. Because that is his weakness. If he passes this test, he knows the war is won. Then, seeing Bhishma, Drona, he starts crying, my grandfather, my uncle, my guru, my this thing, my that thing. And he goes on, giving logic, reason, which is no logic, no reason. Okay. And then he says, Gandivam samsrate astas tvakchaiva paridagyate. My Gandiva is slipping. I'm sweating. I'm having horripulations, meaning stress. All these are symbols of stress. A nice air-conditioned room, if you are sweating, means something wrong. Maybe a heart attack is there. Who knows? So, And he keeps quiet. I will not fight, he says. When he keeps quiet, puts down his bow and arrow and says, I will not fight. Then Sri Krishna gives him tight slap with words. He doesn't talk to him very sweetly and all. No? He says, Kutastva kashmalamidam vishame samupastitam anarya justam ashvargyam akirtikaram Arjuna. I would have said this to Zidane. Kutastva kashmalamidam. Zidane. Idiot. You understand? Easily they could have won. So anger. The rage will bring delusion. Delusion will eat up your memory, your skill, your knowledge. All this what you are studying now will not be available to you that time. Afterwards, kyun kiya yaar? Kyun kiya? I should have not done that. But that time it was not available, na? Because anger has taken it away. Delusion has taken it away. So he says, you should first transcend this. So without any mind control, people are thinking that they can achieve bigger things in life and bigger things in spirituality. The Atma, Brahman, not possible. Therefore, you need to go beyond anger and develop the qualities of forgiveness, ahimsa, love, compassion, all these qualities. Only then in your mind you will be able to see the truth. If your mind is disturbed, how will you see? See, when the sun reflects, it reflects in all ponds. But a pond that is having a lot of dirt or disturbed pond, how can you see the reflection? You won't see it, or you will see it with a lot of disturbance. So for the self to be properly seen reflecting in you, you need to bring your mind calm. That's what he's saying. So kamam krodam lobam moham tyaktvatmanam pashyati soham. So when you do that, what happens? You start seeing the Atma in you. You will see yourself as that Atma. Saha aham. Now what are you seeing yourself as? This relative individual. So the perception changes, he says. The way you will look at yourself changes. Fools lack self-knowledge. Fools lack self-knowledge. Why? Because they are so busy chasing the objects of their desires. Chasing the objects of the desire, they are so busy that they don't spend time in trying to understand themselves. What is their personality? What is it made up of? How each and every part in the personality works. What is happening? They don't study. So they don't have self-knowledge. And then he says they are tortured as captives in hell. Tortured as captives in hell means hell is not a geographical place that you go to. John Milton says, mind in its own place can make a hell out of heaven or heaven out of hell. Isn't it? Before marriage, when you were in love, fallen in love with a boy falling in love with a girl falling in love with a boy. They meet up in the beach or some park, sit and talk hours together. Right? Eating moongfali. Hours together. Okay. And they see, इतना जल्दी time चले गया? 10 hours? इतना जल्दी time चले गया? After marriage, first year anniversary, only 1 year gone. Why it is going so slowly? Mind. You understand? When the mind is happy, time flies. When the mind is not so happy, time drags. Isn't it? So, he says, fools lack self-knowledge. They are tortured as captives in hell. Meaning what? They go through mental agitations. Why? Because they are foolishly chasing the objects of the desire, thinking that the objects of desires can give them happiness. Objects of desires cannot give you that happiness. What will give you the happiness? When you control the mind and go above the desires, then you see the self within which is the bliss, source of bliss, which is bliss. So the bliss is within. Arthur Schopenhauer, a great philosopher, German philosopher, he says, it is difficult to find happiness within, but it is impossible to find it elsewhere. So if you are not a thinker, if you are not thinking, what will you do? You will try to find it elsewhere. Such people he calls as fools. And what is happening to such fools? So much of energy they are spending to chase the object of the desire. Isn't it? See, everything, any object, this television, this watch, this computer, this phone, this clothes, everything is what? Everything is what? Your sweat and toil, your energy, your time that is converted into an object. Right? You run after these objects with what hope? Happiness. But what happens? You buy this TV. When you buy, it is the latest. Okay? You buy and install it in your house and start seeing within a week they announce, latest has come. Which is much better than this TV, slightly cheaper.
Double whammy.
Exactly. Double whammy, you get so agitated. So, you rush to the objects, spending so much of energy, thinking that it's going to solve your problem by giving you the bliss, but you come back feeling dejected, unhappy. But you haven't learnt. Again you run to buy the next new model television. Then they say now televisions themselves have become obsolete. Understand? Pata nahi kya, what will happen? So then you will constantly be agitated. The fellow who is chasing the desires will always be held captive in hell. So what are you supposed to do? Don't run after Kama. Then run after Rama. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. You understand? Rama. Rama means Ramanti, that which revels within. One who revels within. Why? Because the Atma, the true Atma is within you. There's another bhajan we sing, which is one of my favorites in the academy. Atma Rama Ananda Ramana Achyuta Keshava Harina Rayana. Atma Rama Ananda Ramana. Atma Rama is inside. You go and catch hold of that Atma, you will be reveling in happiness. Heaven is within you. This is what Jesus Christ said. Kingdom of heaven is within you. So, if you are intelligent, you will understand that the happiness, the joy, that bliss that I am seeking is my true nature. It's within me. It's me. But if you are not having self-knowledge, you will think that the happiness is in the outside world, in the objects, and you will run. They will be attracting you. You will run. Like a fellow who's lost in the desert, looking at the sand, thinking it's water. He doesn't understand that it's mirage. And he keeps running. What happens? He will never find water. He will be completely exhausted and he will die. This is what is happening to all of us. Swami Ramtita gives a very interesting story. He says, in a kingdom, the king was getting old. He had only one daughter, no sons. And he therefore wanted to find a heir to the throne. So he wanted to choose the best person for his daughter, so that he could be the next king ruling the kingdom. So he said, okay, let me announce an interesting competition. He said, I'm going to organize on so and so date marathon, which will start exactly at 6 a.m. And this age group to this age group, people who are not married, men can compete in this race. Whoever comes first will get married to my daughter and become the next king. And he also put one more thing. What? On the way, there will be lot of gold bricks will be stacked. Gold bricks. Okay. You can also collect as much as you want. How much ever gold bricks you have collected, it's yours, even though you don't win the race. Okay. The fellows start running on the day. Everybody came. The race started. Many of them, they said, yeah, we will win or not, we don't know. Let's collect the gold bricks. So they were collecting gold bricks, carrying it, and they became greedy, running to collect more and more and more. While one fellow said, listen, I am not going to collect gold bricks. I have to win this race, get married to the queen, become the king. Because once I become the king, then everything is mine only. All the gold belongs to the kingdom end of the day. You understand? So, he was smart. He didn't give in to his desires. He kept a goal and started working for it. He continued running without collecting all these attractive gold bars. You understand? While other fellows were collecting and they were greedy, they were collecting more and more. With so much of weight, they couldn't run. They exhausted, they died. Taking nothing to their house. You understand? So what Swami Ramtita says is, we are like that. Our plight is like that. We are only going on collecting the gold bricks. We are collecting the gold bricks, thinking that will give us the bliss. The way to bliss, Ananda, is to control and direct your desires towards the higher goal. Then you will see the objects coming to you. You understand? The law of life is that you court, it leaves you. You leave it, it seeks you. That's life. So therefore he says, you must understand where the bliss is, how to find it. You have to rise above your desires. But the moment you give in to your desires, your attachment, you're finished. There is no end to collecting more and more gold bricks, but you will never be happy. You will never be blissful. Therefore, what you are supposed to do, understanding this, chhod do usko. Understanding that you have to drop it. To drop it means you are a strong fellow. Weak fellows cannot drop it. Na? See, somewhere down the line, all of us buckle. You may not buckle for 10 rupees. You may not buckle for 100 rupees. You may not buckle for 1 million rupees also. But you may buckle for 1 billion rupees.
Yes.
So what is your price? What's your price? You got to ask yourself. You understand? Oh, I will fall for 1 billion. But what's the price of a Mahatma? Priceless. He doesn't fall for it. You understand? An artist who doesn't fall for any of these things, in inspiration when he paints, his painting is auctioned. Tendulkar's bat, they auction. If you go and buy the bat which he is playing, I don't know how much it will cost, 10,000 rupees or 1 lakh maybe. I don't know how much it costs genuinely. They're saying even if it's the best quality, maybe 10,000, 1 lakh rupees. Isn't it? But when they auction it, it goes for few crores. Why? Why?
There's an idea attached to it.
What is an idea?
The design.
That the great player who performed so well on many matches with this bat, what had happened? He had lost focus on his individual records. Na? If you are thinking of individual records, you would have not scored so many runs. I don't know how many of you saw Wimbledon this year, recently. Alcaraz versus Djokovic. Last year Wimbledon 5-setter. I think first 2 Djokovic won. Last 3, Alcaraz won. And won the Wimbledon last year. This year, straight sets Alcaraz won. I was watching it. The final set, first 2 sets he won 6-2, 6-2. In final set, he was leading 5-4 and serving for the match. And he was 40 love. You know tennis, right? The game's rules.
Yeah.
He is 5-4 leading in the third set. 40 love. 3 match points. 3 Wimbledon points he had. Match points he had. Who? Alcaraz. In his mind he must have thought I should win, and then he was serving. I think he made double faults once or twice. And then Djokovic won that game. It became 5-all. Then it became 6-all. Then in the tiebreaker, Alcaraz won. 3 match points he had. And it was deuce and Djokovic took the game.
Basically, it's a mind game.
Exactly.
How strong-
The moment you become anxious, I should win this Wimbledon. So when Tendulkar won so many matches for this country means many times he had become Christ. The more focus on yourself, you won't be able to perform. The less focus on yourself, you will perform. So you are paying for that sacrifice when you buy that bat. Whether fellows buy it with that understanding or not, that is different. You go and try to auction your bat, let's see who buys. You understand? Roger Federer's tennis racket is, So, the point is that sacrifice. Any performance, when an artist is performing, the other day I was, some interview of Priyanka Chopra I was listening to. I like these interviews, because I learn a lot from these things. Any celebrity, anybody who gives an interview, I listen. Even in Wimbledon or any tennis match, after that they interview the players, You will be amazed when you listen to them speak. This time when India won the World Cup in T20, when they interviewed Kohli, unbelievable. How much he's achieved in life, Kohli, Virat Kohli.
Yes.
When he spoke, he said, see, we were not about to win this match. We were supposed to lose it. It was South Africa who was supposed to win. But somehow we won it. Yes, of course we had put in our efforts. All of us came together. All that is fine. So then a player, Virat Kohli, who's won so many accolades and matches and all that, he says,
Talked about his grace.
he talked about his grace, he talked about God.
It was a
Yes, he
losing
spoke
match.
about
Yeah.
Yeah, he spoke about his
Yeah,
grace.
yeah.
You understand?
Yes,
He said it is him who wanted us to win.
There was about his grace. He said this was his grace.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. You learn a lot. You understand. Why these fellows achieve what they achieve. And why certain fellows, even though they achieved, lose everything. What is happening? Becker. I mean, what a great player he was, Boris Becker, especially in Wimbledon. And he lost all his money now. He lost everything. He's nowhere. What is happening? We have to learn a lot from all these things. So, especially in sports. So, interview, Priyanka Chopra was saying, in one of the movies, apparently she was acting with Shahid Kapoor. In one scene, Shahid Kapoor acted so well that she forgot her dialogue. So at that point, when that actor was acting, Shahid Kapoor or whoever, he's forgotten in his, Shahid Kapoor.
Yeah.
He's forgotten that he's Shahid Kapoor.
He's completely the other.
For that moment, of course, awareness is there. Doesn't mean if there is a scene that you have to go and kill, he'll kill literally. But you have to lose that ego. You have to get into that character. Whatever that character is. You understand? So, that's what he's saying here. You got to rise above your mind to succeed in this world, to keep your mind calm, and it is not for a person who can keep his mind calm. What? Happiness, bliss, self is not for the one who cannot keep himself calm. So, therefore, he says, when you conquer the desires and its modifications. You keep it under your control with the knowledge, not chasing the objects of your desires foolishly, thinking that the joy comes from there. Nobody questions, is the joy coming from there? See, a common man thinks light is coming from moon. But is there light coming from moon? No light is coming from moon. It is sun's light that is getting reflected and coming. Similarly, is the joy really coming from the chocolate? You know, I have a desire for Godiva. I love Godiva, you say. Godiva chocolate, you know. So you're thinking, Godiva, mind is going on like hell, you know. So then you get the Godiva chocolate and you put it in your mouth. My God, you are in bliss. So you think Godiva chocolate is bringing joy.
Yes.
One fellow loves dark chocolate, you know. So you give him dark chocolate, he will be in happiness. You give him some other chocolate, milk chocolate, he will not like it. Yeah, take it away. There are other fellows who like milk chocolate, they'll get happiness. If there is joy in that milk chocolate, everybody should get it.
Yes.
This fellow who's only liking brown chocolate doesn't get it. So what does it prove? It's not there in that particular chocolate. Number one. So you should have a desire and you should get the object of your desire. Some other desire, no. Some other object, no. Suppose you like milk chocolate and I give you dark chocolate, you will get more agitated. Not this. You will get agitated. Not this. Isn't it? So, you need to be given the same object. And you are fooling yourself to believe that the joy is coming from that object. What is happening? When you were without the desire for the chocolate, you were calm, peaceful. Suddenly the thought of the chocolate came. Dark chocolate, dark chocolate, dark chocolate. Now agitation started. Now you have to be given a dark chocolate. You contact the object. When you contact the object, what is happening? The object removes the agitation created by the desire for the object. Object removes the agitation created by the desire for that object. Then you again come to peace, calmness, bliss. But you attribute it to the chocolate, thinking that it's coming from there. You get it?
Yes. Yes.
So what you are doing is, the bliss that is within, you are attributing it to the object. Like we are attributing the light to the moon when it is actually coming from the sun. So the joy is coming from the sun within. If you understand the knowledge, you will understand this. If you gain this knowledge, you will understand this. Otherwise, you will think it's coming from object. Then what will you do? Like fools, you will run, get more and more, spending all your life's energy. Convert it into all these objects at home. This I got in Bangkok. This I got in Philippines. This I got in Australia. But a pair of this was not available. That I will get next time in Vietnam. You understand? So much of time and energy, everything, we are just going on collecting. But coming back with what? Disappointment. Disappointment. So therefore he says, if you understand, you will get it here. If you don't understand, you will keep roaming and you will never get it.
I have a question.
Yes.
So the chocolate you said, the satisfaction is when we eat the chocolate. So that desire has been
Temporarily.
temporarily. But so we go back to a state of bliss because the desire was satisfied.
Yes. For a moment. But you are foolishly thinking it's coming from the chocolate, na? So you want more. Because the chocolate ka existence in your tongue is only for few moments and the taste is also for few moments only. Uske baad, you are thinking, no, it's coming from the chocolate. So you want more? Dil mange more. After that. That's what is happening. That's the thing. That's why children, when you put sugar, they crave, na? They are enjoying it, taste is nice, and they think it's from that, and it's gone now. They want more. They want more.
So we have to be blissful from within.
If you understand this, then you experiment in life, then you see what is happening. Then you will be little different in your approach, na? You are studying, reading, reflecting. At least somewhere something will tell you, क्या चल रहा है यार?
And then we catch the desire at the stage of the desire rather than going and eating that chocolate.
See, every day morning, if you walk for 1 hour on the treadmill, I'll challenge you. You do it for a few days and then I'll challenge you. You will not touch certain drinks. This, what do you call this, cold coffee can or all this, because you will see the sugar content in them.
Yeah.
You will say, I will not touch it, man. Because after 1 hour of walking on the treadmill, you see the calorie, it says 320, 350. You take a Coke bottle and see it's 350 or something like that, approximately. Gone. And in few seconds you will finish that Coke.
I know.
So, you will become aware. So the more and more you read, reflect, spend time in it, your awareness increases. You will say, yaar, what is this? Why am I running like this? Foolishly. That foolish running will not be there. Then you will start having a goal, searching, and the goal in line with the divinity, higher and higher. You will continue chasing that aim or goal, not the objects of the desire. Keep your mind calm. Then you experience more and more bliss. That will help you to go towards higher goal, towards the self finally. This is the way to go. Let's conclude. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Kayena Vacha Manasendriyairva Buddhyatmana va Prakrite Swabhavat Karomi Adhyat Sakalam Parasmai Narayanayeti Samarpayami.